You've heard of an upgrade. Get ready for... not that. Hi, I'm Abby from Ratings.com, and today we're reviewing the LG QNED85T. While this may seem like a continuation of the LG QNED85 series of TVs, there's actually quite a few changes between the previous model and this one. We'll look at what those changes are, and of course, ultimately answer the question, should you buy it? We'll start with the basics. The LG QNED85T UA is an edge-lit model with local dimming and a VA panel. This is a pretty big departure from the previous QNED85 UQA, which had full array local dimming backlighting and an IPS panel. In practice, these changes have a big impact on the overall picture quality and performance. For starters, the local dimming implementation here is limited by the fact the TV is edge-lit. Its contrast is decent at best, even with local dimming set to high. Black levels raise when bright highlights appear on screen, and there's noticeable blooming with subtitles. Lighting zone transitions leave something to be desired. In addition to the fact that a good chunk of the screen lights up whenever a bright highlight is present, the leading edge of moving highlights is pretty dim too. When it comes to overall brightness though, the QNED85T is alright. In SDR, it peaks at 599 nits and is closer to 420 nits in a real scene. This is certainly bright enough to fight off glare from ambient light sources in your TV room. But while it's actually decent at handling reflections in general, thanks to its semi-gloss coating, it isn't able to reduce the intensity of direct reflections very well, leading to noticeable reflections on the screen from direct light sources or sunny windows. In HDR, it's a similar story. It peaks at 613 nits, but is dimmer in most real scene content. If you enable the dynamic tone mapping feature on the TV, the brightness drops even further, which is a bit weird considering it usually favors brightness over accuracy. That said, this could be different depending on the picture mode used. For us, we use Cinema Picture Mode. This TV does come with a game mode to improve input lag with connected devices, and thankfully it doesn't noticeably impact the brightness. The QNED85T handles HDR decently, but has some drawbacks. Shadows and midtones are darker than intended, and highlights clip for 600 and 1000 nit content, leading to a loss of detail in bright areas. For even brighter content, like that mastered at 4000 nits, there's a gradual roll-off that retains a bit more detail. Overall, it's fine for casual viewing, but you won't get the full impact of HDR content. Thankfully, when it comes to colors, it fares a bit better. It has a wide color gamut and does a good job of displaying dark saturated colors. But when it comes to brighter saturated colors, it struggles more. Across the board though, the colors it produces are inaccurate and undersaturated. Right out of the box, the TV runs a bit warm due to the overrepresentation of reds and most shades of gray. With that in mind, you could opt to have it calibrated, as that greatly increases its accuracy. Now, one of the main marketing points of this TV is the inclusion of LG's Alpha 8 AI 4K processor. And spoiler alert, it fares a bit better in processing than it does in raw picture quality. For gradient handling, it's good. There's minimal banding in most colors and slightly more in dark greens and grays, but good overall. If you watch lower quality content, you'll be happy to know this TV does a good job of cleaning it up without losing details in the process. You won't see a lot of chunky artifacts, just a few. Upscaling though is only decent. If you tend to watch low-res content, smaller details like text aren't very clear. It isn't all bad, or all right rather. The QNED85T does have some nice quality of life features too, such as an adjustable stand with narrow and wide configurations. Plus, cable management is easy thanks to the included clips. It also lacks a bulky back, so it'll sit mostly flush if it's wall-mounted. It runs the 2024 version of LG's WebOS interface, which is nice and snappy, and it comes with the same magic remote LG's been using for years. Of course, while there's a setting to remove top banner ads, there's no way to fully get rid of them. Surprisingly, this TV has 4 full HDMI 2.1 ports with 4K at 120Hz support. This is great if you have a lot of devices to connect, from a gaming PC to an Xbox, it'll have you covered. Plus, its input lag is very low, especially if you set it to game optimizer mode. It also offers good response time, though there's some black smearing and dark scene transitions and some blur with fast-moving objects, but that's pretty par for the course. Overall, if you're using this TV for gaming, you'll have a responsive gaming experience. Since it supports all VRR technologies, you won't have to worry about screen tearing either. Since we know it has the ports for it, you can definitely hook up a dedicated sound system. And you should. At lower volumes, the sound is well balanced, so dialogue is clear and audible. Once you crank the volume, you're met with a very unbalanced sound profile and quite a bit of distortion. There's also barely any bass at all. But hey, passes through all major audio formats, so there's that. So, should you buy the LG QNED85T? After all that, no. It's just not worth it. While its meh picture quality isn't exactly enticing, it also has some minor deal breakers like a poor viewing angle, flicker and image duplication, and a lack of Dolby Vision support that would otherwise improve the overall HDR experience, whether it's for movies or games. Then there's the longevity concerns that come with edge-lit TVs. We've seen a few LG edge-lit models like the LG QNED80 2022 and the LG Nano 85 2021 display the telltale signs of damage from their poor heat management while on our longevity test. So if you're interested in this TV for its thinness, it's worth considering your placement and use to extend its lifespan. You can check out our video on the subject if you're curious about any of that too. Even if you're looking to hang a huge TV up on your wall for a decently affordable price, there are better alternatives, like the Hisense U7N and TCL QM751G, or even the previous generation LG QNED85UQA, all of which are better across the board and comparable, if not cheaper, in price. The TCL comes in a wide range of sizes, from a 55 to a 98-inch model, and each size offers full array backlighting so you can avoid those edge lighting concerns. Plus, you'll end up with better picture quality as full array TVs tend to get brighter, offer better contrast performance, and can generally display colors better due to this increased brightness. The processing is a little better overall as well. The Hisense U7N also offers these benefits with the added plus of being a little more plug and play, if you will. It has better out-of-the-box accuracy and much better reflection handling, so you don't have to consider your room's brightness level as much. Though both the Hisense and TCL have their quirks if you use VRR, as we mentioned in our last video, you won't go wrong with either, as they're pretty evenly matched and well-priced units for what they offer. Likewise, the LG QNED85UQA is still available through some online retailers. So if you can find it, it's definitely worth it over the 2024 version of the LG QNED85. Well, that's all we have to say about the LG QNED85T. If you're interested in learning more about this unit, check out our written review over on our website. The link is in the description below. Until next time, I'm Abby from Ratings.com, where we help you find the best product for your needs. Thanks everybody for tuning in for all of 2024. We'll be back next year with a bunch of new content. How exciting is that? Cool. See ya, and thanks again.